the first of my build series on the Tamiya plasma edge on the TT-02B chassis. We're going to start off on this video concentrating, I think, on parts bag A, which is steps 1 to 13, and I think we'll get straight into it on step 2. Step 1 is just plugging the battery in. So we'll, as you can see here, I've got several steps already laid out, so we'll jump straight in with steps 2, 3, 4 and 5. So with that, we'll get the camera zoomed in a bit, I think, for you, and we'll get cracking. Okay, so step 2 is the spur gear, and should be quite a simple one. There's lots of diagrams showing to grease the stuff up, but I'm using the ball races, so I don't think I'll be bothering. You just spin it round till it sits, and that's step 2. So we can swiftly move on to step 3. There we go, and that's what the prop shaft assembly should look like. And we can move on to step 4. And step 4 is installing the prop shaft into the chassis. So we've got the chassis, and again it's just a quick simple case of installing the prop shaft and moving the bearings into their housings, like so, and then putting the D2 cover over and simply screwing it in with your 2 MA1s. So I'll get on with that, and we can move on to step 5. So there we have the prop shaft installed, and the thing I forgot to mention is greasing up all these spur gears and bevel gears. So I've done that again, so I'll zoom back in again, because we're now on to step 5, which is the diff housings. In step 5 there are a couple of notes. The first one being about the anti-wear grease, telling you to apply anti-wear grease using an object with a fine tip. I don't know about that, but I'm going to use one of my trusty paintbrushes that I normally use and keep for applying the anti-wear grease. And I know this is the one that I use for the anti-wear grease because it feels sticky when I touch it on my finger. So that's what I'm going to be using. And the other note is on the bevel gears, or the sun gears as I call them, is to remove the mould tree tabs, which I have gone through and done, but I think I was quite lucky and didn't need to take much off at all. I think my snipping action with my wire cutters cut it quite close, so I think with that we'll just crack on and get started. So I'm taking G1, which is the star shaft, and the rather sticky anti-wear grease, and I'm just going to put a bit on to each of the shafts. and pop the 4 screws in. And tighten them up. As we go into step 6, which is installing one of these into the front of the chassis. And again, there's a couple of notes in this section. The first one is saying note the direction of the diff, because I do believe it might be able to fit in either way. Yes, it can. So yeah, you should note the direction. The other one is all about greasing, or on that bit. And then there's an important note, in my opinion, down this bottom here, says apply a anti-wear grease to the joint to prevent dust and sand from entering. And on the diagram here, it's just got 2 lines running front to back for the anti-wear grease. But me being me, I've done the whole of the mating surface of this top C7 part, which is the diff top housing. But again, that's just me possibly being overly cautious, but as it came with the anti-wear grease, I'm going to use it. And again, it does say to grease the ring gear, and with the ring gear greased up and the 2 1280, how's it, 1280, yeah, 1280 bearings in place, it should just slot in like so. We can check the movement a bit, and then the cover C7 simply slots over, and then the 4 screws go in 1, 2, 3, 4, and just simply need screwing in. And step 7 is basically a repeat of step 6, installing the rear differential. And again, there's a couple of notes: note direction of the diff, and there's also the symbol but no note about adding the anti-wear grease, which I have already done. And once finished, you should end up with a chassis looking something like that, with 2 differentials installed and 1 central prop shaft. And then we can swiftly move on to step 8. The next 2 steps are installing the motor. So that's steps 8 and 9, and there's a few notes in here before we get started. One of them shows anti-wear grease. Surprisingly, I've not seen that before. Putting a ring round the motor plate itself. So I'm not sure if that'll come across on the video, but I've gone round as best as I can. It's quite a bit deeper and thicker than the diagram shows, but I've done both surfaces and I've already stuck it in place ready. And then also it says to put a bit of anti-wear grease around this edge of the motor plate. So we just get the motor, and we just need to line up the holes. Take one of the screws, pop it into the hole for 17. So you should be able to see there that it's slightly off, and could do with coming out a bit. So I'll just loosen that back off again and slide it out. And apologies if my head gets in the way. Yeah, I think that's about lovely. So we'll nip it up and then again we'll tighten it fully. And again, because this grub screws metal on metal, you can, if you wish, use some thread lock, but again, I've not had a problem so far on any of my kits, just tightening it like so. And I may have moved, but I think we'll leave it at that for now, and I'll slap some grease on that. Okay, so for step 9, the screw positions are one here, here and here on the top for the cover. I think there's another one that goes there at some point later on. And then underneath we've got a screw here and here which hold the plastic motor plate in, and the other two are here and here which are the battery holder clips. And with that we can move on, I think, to steps 10 and 11. Steps 10 and 11 are installing the rear lower wishbones and the rear bumper, and I think there's a note here just showing you the direction and telling you that that way with the chassis is the front. And there are orders for this step, so we start off in this top right hand corner and we get the chassis, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. Oh yeah, I can see that. We've got some quite big holes which are for the ordinary TT-02 chassis, wishbone mounts, and these parts A10 slide in there, and it does say fully push in, but they're a bit loose, so there's no need to try and fully push them in. They push in all on their own. And then parts A14 looks to go somewhere about there, so I think because these are really loose, I might just try a dab of grease just to see if it'll hold these in place. And then for step 11 we just need part A2, which is the bumper, and that should just pop on like so, with the one screw there, the two shorter screws on the outside, and the ordinary tapping screw just fits in to that hole there, and we just need to tighten those up. 12 and 13 are installing the front lower arms, or wishbones as I call them, and the front bumper. We've got the AW grease symbol here for these A9 bits, and whether you'll be able to see that, but I've already put one in place because it just slots into this slot here. So I've already got me anti-wear grease on my brush, so we'll dab a bit more on here, and I think it looks like it wants you to do both sides, so I'm doing both sides anyway. And you should be able to see possibly that there is a key at the top of A9, and that should just fit in the slot. And then we just line that up with the holes like that, and then I believe we need to pop this in, and as you can see the arrows there, you'll see again that there's some fairly big holes, so they slot in like that. And then we just got the 3 screws again, the longer one on in the middle and the 2 shorter ones on the outside. So we'll get them screwed in and get back to you. Right, we now need to install the lower wishbones. And I think this is going to be quite tricky because of those little washer spacers, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I will try and endeavour. We'll put the front in first, and I can't get the back in this one, I don't think. There we go. Oh, went in a bit easier than I thought. We'll hold it up, and yeah, definitely the spacers in either side. Still a bit of forward and backward movement, but I'm happy with that for the moment. Step 13 is installing the front bumper, and there's a note somewhere here which says to attach A11 before attaching A8. So we'll get the bumper on first, and that should go something like that with the 2 MA1s. Spin it round, and then this part A8 should, I believe, fit there. Yeah, that's quite a weird tight fit to begin with, to line it all up. And with that, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and look forward to seeing you for parts back B. Thanks for watching. Bye.